Did you ever meet when you were in India with me?
I do not believe so.
I've hired twice and fired twice. He would say he quit the second time, so we'll just go with his version of the story. He's got a ton of potential, so I've been trying to mentor him. All right, so he was on a text rant with me this week, and I just kind of called him out. Okay.
All right.
So we did a video on Mostly Sane. She is an Indian YouTuber.
Okay.
And I said, what do you think of this? And he said he didn't like her. And the way I read it is he was jealous at someone of a similar age range who was more successful than he is. Okay.
Okay.
He started complaining about his situation in life and how she's so much more privileged than him.
Yep.
Let's see. So first of all, his first excuse is he says, if I was in the US, I'd be successful by now. And I totally disagree with that. The cost of living in India is so much cheaper than the US that I don't see being in the US has anything to do with being successful, especially if you're trying to be a YouTuber. A little bit more background. He wants to be a YouTuber, just like I think everyone else in his age range that's like 19 to 21. He's tried creating a video editing company, which has had some issues. So this was his first critique.
So I will say, not that I disagree with you a little bit there, but I would say if you are in the US, you might have a little bit more success on YouTube. I kind of agree with him on that.
I disagree.
But not in the sense that you're thinking. The only reason why is YouTube is more of a U.S. publication. Mm-hmm. So being here, speaking the native tongue, and doing that, you might have a little bit more success. But
ad revenue is also a lot higher in the U.S. compared to India. The cost per 1,000 views.
Correct. Costs are going to be different. Everything's going to be different. That being said, the hustle of this other person that I'm not sure even who it is, I'm sure that person has hustled 1,000 times more being in India to get where she's at.
His next thing was, I don't have the right tools to execute my tasks. Specifically in here, he says, I don't have a MacBook, which I thought was the biggest excuse in the world. You do not need a MacBook. Also, like, if you want to be a YouTuber and that's your goal, you can borrow a computer. Yeah. There's someone you know. You do not need to go buy your own computer.
Yeah, you guys,
to be successful.
I mean, I'm looking at the thing and some of his messages say text but from iPhone or reply by iPhone. If you have one of these devices in your hand, I mean, you have everything at your disposal. I didn't have any of this growing up, and I went and saved for like 6 months. I did chores and I bought this clunky little video camera when I was younger, and I mean, I still have that video camera today. It doesn't do 1080p. It doesn't do all these fine things, but it does work. And it does do video. I mean, this camera is like 15 years old and it still works.
But yeah, exactly. So here's another excuse he made. So he tried doing an agency and he said, I tried making a video agency, hired 2 guys, and the clients didn't pay. Both of us have agencies. Both of us have had clients that haven't paid.
Oh, yeah.
Is part of the thing.
Yeah, you're going to have that. When you're starting a business, I'd recommend 50% upfront, making sure you cover your costs. Any agency that's like, oh, you know, we did all this work and didn't get paid, I think it's a huge excuse. Get paid 50% upfront and 50% when the job's done. Have a guaranteed refund if they're not happy. That way you can put your money where their mouth is and they can too. Those are the best types of client. Any client who won't pay you upfront at least a little bit typically won't pay you at all.
And I think with him, with his buddies, because they're buddies, he could just say, you get paid when I get paid.
Yeah.
And so that would diminish his risk. If the client didn't pay him, he'd only just be out time.
Correct.
So again, he's looking at this as an excuse of, hey, I quit my video agency.
Yeah, you guys also, like, why did you go hire 2 people? Just go to 2 friends and say, hey, I have this gig. Do you want to work on it with me? Like, don't go and be like, oh, I'm going to hire you full time. I'm going to hire you full time. Like, don't go into business like that. Businesses start by having 1 to multiple people in a room with a good idea, and you're working on this on the side. You're working at your job. You're working at this. You guys, when I started my first company, like first company, I mean, I was working at a bagel store, and I would wake up and start work at 5:30 and work till 9 a.m. every single day at a freaking bagel store. Like, you do that, and then you start doing stuff on the side. Mm-hmm. And go to your friends and say, hey, you put in sweat equity, I put in sweat equity, and build this up. And then 6 months later, 8 months later, you actually have a real company and you're making more money. You guys, I was making 3 times the money outside my bagel thing. And when I went from a bagel, I started working for a tech company. I went to my boss and said, hey, I want to wake up early. I started going in at 5:30 at that job. I left every day at 2. I went to that boss 2 years later. I was making 2 times what I was outside of work, inside of work, all on outside hours. You guys, that's where businesses are started.
So the next thing he says there's so many video guys I'm going to put in India.
All over, doesn't matter.
He says that killed the market. They're offering services for too cheap. So one, I think the issue is here. He's currently probably overvaluing his own services that he's offering. I think the second thing is if he wants clients that pay well, he's got me as a friend, as an American, but like if he showed me that he could deliver and any referral I gave him, he'd treat them with gold, then I could literally build his business for him just by sending 1 or 2 referrals.
I mean, outside of that, dude, you're running a service business. The first client I ever had at my agency was paying me $500 a month. That same $500 a month, I now charge $2,500 a month for the exact same thing. I'm doing nothing different. Guess what, dude? I still have, to this day, 11 years later, that same first client, and he still pays me $500 a month. Now, all new clients, I charge a lot more for, but like, that's what you do in the beginning, is just like all these other guys who are stealing your business and becoming way cheaper. There's always somebody who can do something cheaper. Just keep that in mind. Doesn't matter what it is. There's always somebody who can do it cheaper.
From it, I think the other thing I see him do, he bounces around a lot, and which is fine. I think for his age, he's trying to figure out what he wants to be when he grows up. So he's testing all these things. So one of the things he's looking at doing is creating a YouTube channel. So he wants to be famous, which I think is a bad reason to start a business. Correct. But he wants to create a car channel in India. What would be your feedback for him?
Great. I mean, if you want to start a car channel, start a car channel. If you're starting a YouTube channel, or if you're starting a business, or if you're starting anything, don't start it unless you're passionate about it and you're fine going into this, putting, 4, 6, 8 hours a day without making $1 for 2 years. If you can honestly look in the mirror and say, I am 100% fine making a YouTube car channel for 24 months, putting out 1 video a week, I do not make $1. If you're okay with that, start it. Those are the people I find successful because they push through that really hard time. Those first 6 to 12 months in any business is just painstakingly hard, and you're not going to make money. And those that do are unicorns. Most of us are not unicorns. I'm not a unicorn. I know you're not a unicorn. I know very, very few unicorns. We read about unicorns every day in the media. Oh, this person started a business and in 2 years it's worth $100 million. You guys, that might happen to you, but be okay with yourself if it's not. And look in the mirror, and if you can say to yourself, that might not happen, and if that does not happen, that's okay with me. If you can do that, I think that's a passion project. Mm-hmm. And most passion projects, like most successful businesses, were a passion project and something that they were really into.
His second idea is he wants to create a channel for kids.
Okay. Again, same question. Mm-hmm. Kids is really hard just because it's very, very hard to get ad revenue, because you can't get ad revenue from a person, I believe, under 13. Like under 13, you can't even create a social profile. So it's very, very hard to get ad revenue. Not saying it's not possible, but dude, like, make sure you're passionate about that.
I think the last thing is decide on something and like commit at least 12 months and create, maybe you don't have the resources to create a video every single week, but then do 2 a month. Yeah. By the 15th and the 31st of every month, you should be publishing.
Or 1 a month, or whatever it is. Just become the best at doing that and do the best you can and move forward. And you guys truly get started. Like, don't let success hold you back, or don't let not starting hold you back.
All right. Well, that was our advice. All of this was said with like love and respect. So I want to.
And I'm not even saying this because I don't even know who this person is, but I'm saying this in general to people out there. Like all these questions, I have had 1 million people bring up to me, 1 million employees, 1 million friends, neighbors, relatives, family, like everything.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was our advice for. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have questions you want us to answer on the Business Idea channel, leave them below.
Thanks, guys.